Bad leadership kills. I'm an American with this lovely Midwestern accent, and looking at the news, you know that too. Bad leadership kills. And this is a men's wellness channel. The fact is, we are touched by politics in every aspect of everything. Everything. We're touched by politics. And we talk about this channel, men's wellness. I talk about how men can be better leaders. Part of that journey is knowing who to follow and who to emulate when it comes to leadership. Because leadership is a skill set that you have to learn. Some people can seem more natural when it comes to certain aspects, but you can't master everything when it comes to any type of skill set. You can be natural in some aspects, but not in everything. But my point is that we as men, we have become too in love with the anti-woke movement. So we put this populist in charge, Trump, and he's not a good leader. He's shown that time and time again the last time he was in the White House. And now we are in a kerfuffle. We are completely screwed because this guy is just a bad leader, and he hires people who are loyalists, who are bad leaders, and here we are. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave, you can unsubscribe, you can unfollow, you can, whatever you want to do. Dislike, I'm sure you will. You can leave. If you're a Trump fan, you can go fuck yourself because you're a moron. This isn't about extending any type of olive branch to anyone who is a Trumpster. You can go fuck yourself. Okay? What this is for men that are confused and lost and understand that they fucked up by voting for this clown. And now a lot of people are going to die. Not just from the war, but from the economic fallout that is happening as we speak in this country. Bad leadership kills. Don't think for 1 minute, for example, the job market. Some people might sit there and say, oh, okay, well, it's going to restabilize, and we had a couple of bad months. We've been on the downward spiral for close to half a year. We're always readjusting the numbers, but we have been in negative net growth for the past 5 months. In February, we shed 92,000 jobs, and the jobs that are replacement jobs aren't anything when it comes to growth. Bad leadership all around. Economy is tanking. Inflation has not improved. If anything, it's getting worse, especially because of the war, and there's no end in sight. Things are escalating. Then we are going to have boots on the ground more than likely. We're going to have troops. More American lives are going to be lost over there because they don't know what they're doing. It's bad leadership all around. Trump doesn't know what he's doing. He's always been a bad leader, but then he hires people. A sign of a bad leader is you don't want to have people on your team that are smarter than you. Old school masculinity, it's about making sure that you can domineer and bully people, and part of it is trying to have people who you know aren't smart as you, but it ends up messing up your leadership circle. Everybody who is a good leader has to have a competent team around them. You have to have a team of support around you. Why I'm saying that is because a leader has to delegate. Delegate to whom exactly if it's just you? And I say that because part of masculinity and what we're taught as boys is that you see these leaders that are made, they're put in the history books and these magazines. Nobody really reads anymore, but when you see them on TV, it's always about it's a one-man show. These big corporations, it's bullshit. They don't build this stuff by themselves. Most of the time they steal. They steal these ideas. So my point is with a leader has to have a team, and Trump, he has a team, but he has to have a team of competent people. You're going to have people that are going to be smarter than you in certain aspects, but that's why you have a team. You can't do it all. I think the biggest part, in my experience as a leader, and the biggest skill set as a leader, most people get this wrong, is people skills, interpersonal skills, knowing how to build a team through your interpersonal skills and to get them to work together, to get complex tasks, projects done, missions done. That's the hardest thing. People think being a leader means you have to know how to take command. They don't even know what that means. It's about understanding human nature, psychology, understanding how to work with people, but most importantly, how to get people to work together, how to get them to trust you and to follow you. That isn't just, okay, I'm going to tell people what to do, because people have a mind of their own, don't they? And even though Trump hires a bunch of loyalists to kiss his ass and to lie to him, they still do things behind his back. Think of how all this breaking news comes out and how the media knows so much when it seems that even Trump doesn't know some of the stuff that he talks about. And it's because he has a bunch of people in his cabinet that go behind his back and speak to the media. probably laugh behind his back and tell all types of jokes, but that's speculation on that front. But I just know, and so do you, when it comes to people that are just weasels in the office, in his case, in his cabinet. This is the problem of a bad leader. You want to hire people that are not going to really challenge you. But when you are challenged by people because they're smart and competent, it helps your whole team grow. That doesn't mean you hire people that undermine you. That's not what I'm saying. Relax. What it means is you hire people that can bring ideas, that can challenge your way of thinking. Okay? And it can help you the whole team grow. And a lot of leaders fail on this because they'll sit there and they'll talk that bullshit. Like, oh, I have an open door policy. And they don't. Oh, I value new ideas. Bullshit. How come we can never get new ideas off the ground? Because you kill them, right? And most leaders, and Trump is like this, it's like, well, if it didn't really come from me, then it's a bad idea. In Trump's case, it's more of, well, tell it to me, and then I'm going to pretend it's my idea, then it's a good idea. Just bad leader. And again, men, we have to understand what a leader is. And then once we understand that, then we can, if you want to be a leader, not everybody can do it, but if you want to be a leader, you have to understand the biggest skill set is just knowing how to deal with people. And if you're not a people person to the point where you just, I'm saying that not to sit there and say you have to be an extrovert, because I'm not one. But when I say you have to have some patience and tolerance towards people, this is where people mess up. You have to have that. I'm sorry. You can't just completely hate people and then, oh, I'm going to be a leader. A leader of who? You have to be around people. If you're going to laugh, and I know some of you are laughing at this because it's like, wait a minute. A lot of the bosses I've had, they were just strange. They're not people persons. They're not, and again, it's not about being extroverted. It's just, you can tell when people just really don't like humans. It's like seeing a machine that's good at maybe selling, but they're not good at being around people and understanding interpersonal relations and how to talk to people and the things that you could take for granted. But there's plenty of books that you can get on how to navigate conversation, how to have proper communication, which takes active listening. That's another thing where people mess up. So let me go back again. Well, people will sit there and say, well, a leader is about being commanding. It's about communication, mostly about active listening. You see what I'm getting at? And a lot of this sounds very feminine, right? But it's, don't give the good traits away to the other gender. Just say that it's something that a good leader should be, not feminine or masculine. And this is where we have to look at what masculinity actually is and what it should be. Like, I'm saying that the things that we look as being effeminate, don't give that away. Don't sit there and say being a good communicator to the point where you're just an active listener, that's some girly leadership crap. No, it's being a good leader. Yes, you can get people to do what you want them to do, but it's more about building trust. Now we're getting with that soft stuff again. What is soft about it? And I'm just saying this because I've heard men talk this way before when it comes to good leadership skills. And then you get the chance to vote for someone who ain't shit. And they are the type of leader that you might have worked with before who's an asshole. And you know he's an asshole because you called him one behind his back, maybe to his face. That was your last day. But you know what I'm talking about. We've all had bad bosses. There's plenty of examples of bad bosses. There's not enough of good leadership because it seems to be where the assholes get promoted because they're the ones who are the loudest. Squeaky wheel. But what's unfortunate is when we get the chance to vote, and because we have a bad understanding as men of what a good leader is, we say, okay, well, commanding, it can be domineering, you can be a bit of a bully. I'm saying this through my experience as a man. Think real quick. Just think real quick on what, as a man, you've been told by society of what a leader is. It's okay to be a bit of a bully as long as you get things done the right way. It's okay sometimes, maybe you gotta get loud with people every now and then to get them to pay attention when to hit goals. I've heard all this told to me by other men. I know you have too. And it's like all the traits that make a bad boss, to where you're not really listening to people. You think you're always right. You don't apologize. So you don't really grow. You talk a game about getting ideas and getting good new ideas, but you don't like it if they're not your ideas. So your team doesn't grow. You don't grow as a leader. People tend to hire, when it comes to leadership, people that they like, but not people that really challenge them. So you don't grow as a leader. Your team won't grow. and the whole organization suffers. So as men, we don't have enough examples of just good leadership. And when it gets time to vote, we just vote wrong because I know what a good leader is. Do we? I don't think we don't. Because a lot of us were very happy to see Trump get into the White House, and we were very excited. I was there. People were very excited, couldn't stop talking about it. And now I see all the Trump flags have been removed, and I've seen people who were, very adamant to tell you that they voted for him again, and they don't want to talk about it. And they don't want to mention his name, but he had the flag up, he wore the hat. And I'm from a very red state, okay, so all my neighbors are embarrassed, and it's like, listen, part of a good leader is having integrity. If you are going to stand by this person you did before, then continue to stand by him. And they don't want to do that. But again, a good trait of leadership and to build trust is having integrity. Does he have that? Right? So here we are. And things are going to get really bad. So what I can say for you guys is really important to stay educated. Keep following this channel and share. And the other thing is on the Solemn Sir, I have some other great resources to help you remain educated on different skill sets that you can gain when it comes to relationships, career advice, overall advice when it comes to just being a man, especially in the West and the shit we have to deal with, especially now. But stay safe out there, stay sane.